Welcome back, guys. So got another fairly rare machine to show today, in the shape of this Sebo C3 from 1999. Had this one about a year or so, saw it on Marketplace for silly money. It wasn't too far away, it looked to be in pretty decent condition, so I thought, well, I'll have that. They're quite hard to find in good condition these days, especially the blue ones. They tend to go horrible sort of greeny colour, but luckily this one's been pretty well looked after. It didn't take a hell of a lot of work to bring it to the sort of standard you see today. So the C series was Sebo's first attempt at a cylinder. I think they launched in about sort of 96, 97, thereabouts. And before that they'd only produced uprights, and this was their first attempt to try to make a really decent quality cylinder, similar quality to their uprights. I've heard a lot of varying opinions on these. Some people don't like them because of this sort of quirky offset hose and things like that. I've been quite impressed with it so far. I think it's a really, really smart machine. It is a bit quirky, it does have its quirks, and it's a bit bulky and heavy for sort of smaller homes, but you can certainly see where they're going with this. It's a really good machine. I personally think the sort of late 90s, or mid to late 90s, was really sort of peak era for cylinders. I think some of the best cylinder cleaners came out of this era, really decent quality machines, especially from Electrolux and manufacturers like that. So it's a really nice one to have. Let's talk you through some of the slightly quirkier features it has, and then we'll give it a go. Right, so this is the machine itself. One thing to note, this is the top of the line C3. There was two models below this. You had the C1, C2, then obviously the C3. So the C1 was your standard machine with a standard floor tool. It had variable power. Next model up came with a turbo head, I believe, and then obviously you got the full fat C3 with the remote hose and the power head. So the first quirky thing about this machine is what I've already mentioned, is the hose. So it's offset, and some people don't like this because when you pull the machine along, it tends to sort of come along at an angle rather than straight ahead. It doesn't really bother me that much, to be honest, but I know it bothers some people. Second quirky thing is this flap here, where you'd expect to find the bag on most machines. It's actually where your tools are, and a little compartment for your instruction manual as well. So these tools are really decent quality tools, commercial Sebo tools. So third thing is at the back, that's where you find your bag. The nice thing is it takes Sebo X1 bags, so you can use modern sort of HEPA flow type ones, which really helps filtration. And you've got your four nice big twisty casters. You've got the famous Sebo Airbelt. So essentially this is your post-motor filter, so air is exhausted through the airbelt, and it also serves to protect your furniture because it's really soft. Really good idea. This was the first machine to have the airbelt. I think they still, all of them to this day, still have the airbelt system. So the other thing to mention is obviously it has a remote hose to operate the machine, to turn it on and off, vary the power. If you operate the machine with the power off and you hit the main switch, the power head kicks in by itself. And the reason for that is it was so that you could use the power head without the suction to basically agitate Sebo Duo powder, dry cleaning powder, into the carpet before you was to suck it up. So I thought that's quite a good idea, actually. The nice thing about this is obviously the cable for the power head and the remote runs through the hose, which can make the hoses a bit bulky sometimes, but on a lot of machines with these sort of power hoses, they tend to break at the bent end sort of section there. But this one, you've got a separate pigtail that you can basically detach and replace if needs be. You can also detach the main cable and just use it like a straight suction cleaner, which makes it a bit more practical. So there we go, there is the Sebo C3. Very nice machine, really, really decent quality, as you'd expect from Sebo. Let's give it a go.